Ladies and gentlemen, we've all been there. At some point in our lives, we faced moments that felt overwhelming, suffocating even. That heavy weight on your shoulders when life's expectations, responsibilities, and uncertainties seem to be pressing in from every side. You look around and it feels like there's no escape. The pressure is real. But what if I told you that pressure is not your enemy, but a powerful force in your life that can shape you, refine you, and push you toward the person you were meant to be? You see, pressure is not something we can run away from. It's a natural part of the human experience. Pressure comes in many forms: external pressure from deadlines, from relationships, from the world around us. And then there's the internal pressure, that voice inside your head telling you you're not doing enough, not being enough. You're not alone in this. Pressure touches us all. But here's the truth: how we respond to pressure is what truly matters. It's not the pressure itself that defines us, but how we handle it. Pressure is not just something to be endured. It's something that, when viewed through the right lens, can become a source of strength. Pressure has a way of bringing out the best in us, even when we don't realize it. Just like coal turns into a diamond under extreme heat and pressure, so too can our lives transform when we face challenges. It forces us to adapt, to stretch, and to evolve in ways that we would never have thought possible without it. The truth is, the very pressure that feels suffocating today is the very pressure that will refine you, purify you, and bring out the brilliance within you. How you choose to perceive pressure is key. Too often we think of pressure as a burden, a weight we have to carry until it breaks us down. But I want you to challenge that perception. The way you view pressure can turn it into something empowering. Pressure is not something that holds you down, but something that pushes you forward, urging you to rise. Your perspective on the challenges you face will determine how you experience them. If you approach them with fear and resistance, they will feel heavier. But when you approach them with faith and determination, you'll find that you have more strength than you thought possible. You are not a victim of pressure, you are the victor of it. Now, how do we manage this pressure? It's not enough to simply acknowledge it. We need to actively engage with it to transform it. First, take a moment to breathe. I know it sounds simple, but breathing deeply and grounding yourself can work wonders. Practice mindfulness. Pause in the middle of the chaos and reconnect with your inner calm. Second, lean on your support system. You don't have to face pressure alone. It's okay to reach out to someone who can help you see things from a different perspective. And third, manage your time wisely. Break down overwhelming tasks into smaller, manageable pieces. Set realistic expectations for yourself. You don't have to do it all at once. Lastly, remember that pressure is temporary. It's a season, not a life sentence. It's a process that brings growth, and growth takes time. You may feel like you're being stretched beyond measure, but the person you will become after enduring this pressure is worth it. Don't rush the process. Trust the journey. Trust that every ounce of pressure you feel today is shaping you for something greater tomorrow. So the next time you find yourself under pressure, remember it is not a punishment, but a catalyst for change. Embrace the pressure, embrace the challenge, and know that you are being prepared for something greater than you can even imagine. Your ability to rise, to transform, and to succeed is already within you. So stand tall, breathe deep, and face the pressure with a heart full of courage and a mind full of determination. You are not just enduring the pressure, you are growing through it. Pressure. It's something we all face at some point in our lives, and yet it's something we often try to avoid, resist, or push away. But here's the reality: pressure is an inevitable part of the human experience. It's not something we can always control, and sometimes it feels like it's coming from every direction. We face pressure from our jobs, our families, the expectations we place on ourselves, and even from the world around us. We're constantly juggling responsibilities, trying to meet deadlines, fulfill promises, and balance multiple roles. And in all of that, we can start to feel the weight of it all. We begin to wonder, how much longer can I handle this? When will this pressure be too much? But here's the truth you must understand. Pressure is not just something you have to survive, it's something that can work for you if you allow it. Think about the greatest things in life: diamonds, gold, even your own personal growth. All of these things are shaped, refined, and strengthened under pressure. A diamond in its raw form is nothing more than a piece of coal, ordinary and unremarkable. But with time, with heat, and with immense pressure, it transforms into something brilliant, something rare, something highly coveted. This is the power of pressure. It's not here to break you, it's here to transform you. The pressure you face in your life is there to help you grow, to help you become who you are meant to be. It may feel difficult in the moment, but it is during these times that you are being shaped, molded, and refined into something stronger and more capable. Pressure comes in many forms, and it's important to understand that not all pressure is the same. Some pressure comes from external forces, people's expectations, your responsibilities, your job, your social circles. But there is also the internal pressure, the pressure we place on ourselves to achieve, to be perfect, to have it all together. The key to understanding pressure is realizing that both kinds can impact us, but both can also serve as powerful forces in our lives. The external pressure can be overwhelming, but it is often a mirror reflecting back to us our own internal pressure. The truth is, we often create the most intense pressure in our lives by setting unrealistically high standards for ourselves, by being hard on ourselves, and by demanding perfection in everything we do. But the key to handling pressure is realizing that it is not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. When we understand that pressure is a natural part of life and that it can actually lead to growth, we begin to shift our perspective. Rather than looking at pressure as something to fear or avoid, we can start seeing it as a tool, a force of transformation. The more we resist pressure, the more it becomes a burden. The more we embrace it and allow it to do its work, the more we grow into the person we are destined to be. One of the most important things to understand about pressure is that it is temporary. No matter how intense it feels in the moment, pressure doesn't last forever. The trials you face today will not remain the same forever. The deadlines, the challenges, the struggles, they will eventually pass. And when they do, you will have grown stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So while it may feel heavy in the moment, remember that pressure is not a permanent state. It's a phase, a season, and like all seasons, it will eventually pass, leaving you transformed. When we truly understand the nature of pressure, we stop seeing it as something that is out to get us, and we start seeing it as something that is for us. We begin to embrace the discomfort, knowing that it's not meant to break us, but to build us up. It's in these moments of pressure that our true character is revealed. The question is not whether or not you will face pressure, but how you will respond to it. Will you allow it to overwhelm you, or will you rise up and use it as the fuel to push you forward? Pressure is the key that unlocks the doors to your growth. The challenges you face are there to make you better, to help you grow into the best version of yourself. The more you understand the nature of pressure, the more you will be able to use it to your advantage and transform your life. Pressure. It's a word that can carry so much weight, so much fear, and for many of us, it can feel like a heavy burden pressing down on our shoulders. The weight of expectations, deadlines, responsibilities. Sometimes it feels like the world is demanding more than we can give, and the pressure becomes overwhelming. But what if I told you that this very pressure, the pressure that feels like it could break you, could also be the force that shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient? What if pressure is not your enemy, but your greatest ally? Let's take a moment to really think about this. Pressure is a natural part of life. It's something that we all experience at different times and in different ways. And while it can sometimes feel unbearable, the truth is that pressure doesn't just exist to break us down. It exists to push us forward. Think about the times in your life when you felt the most pressure. What happened afterward? I'm willing to bet that in many cases, those were the times when you grew the most, when you developed new skills, learned more about yourself, or achieved things you once thought were impossible. Pressure doesn't just test you, it transforms you. It refines you, just like a diamond is formed under immense pressure. Without it, the diamond would never take shape. Without pressure, we would never be forced to confront our limits, push through them, and rise above them. But to reframe pressure as a source of strength, we need to shift our mindset. Instead of seeing pressure as something that is happening to us, we must start seeing it as something that is happening for us. Pressure is not a sign that we are failing, it is an indication that we are growing. When life pushes against us, it's because we are being stretched and expanded, because we are capable of more than we think. Every time we face pressure, we are given an opportunity to discover new layers of our own potential, to step into a new version of ourselves that we might not have known existed. In those moments when we feel the weight of the world on our shoulders, it's easy to think that we are being crushed, but let me tell you something important. Pressure is not meant to crush you, it's meant to reveal your strength. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what is this pressure showing me about who I am? Is it showing you your resilience, your capacity to adapt and grow? Your ability to dig deep when the going gets tough? I guarantee that if you look at it this way, you will see that pressure is not your enemy, it's the thing that pushes you to discover what you're truly made of. And here's the powerful truth: the more pressure you experience and learn to navigate, the stronger you become. With every challenge you face, you build muscle. Your mental muscle, emotional muscle, and spiritual muscle grow stronger. Just like an athlete builds strength by pushing through resistance, you become stronger when you face the resistance that life throws at you. The key is not to run from it, not to shy away from it, but to lean into it, knowing that you are capable of handling more than you think. You see, it's all about perspective. When we begin to view pressure through the lens of growth, we unlock an incredible source of power within ourselves. We stop fearing pressure, and instead we embrace it. The discomfort, the struggle, the uncertainty, they all become part of the process. Rather than seeing these moments as obstacles, we begin to see them as stepping stones on the path to a stronger, more resilient version of ourselves. So next time you find yourself under pressure, don't run from it, don't wish it away. Instead, lean into it, face it with courage, and allow it to transform you. Reframe it. See it for what it really is: not a weight that will crush you, but a tool that will shape you into the person you were always meant to become. You are stronger than you think, and pressure is simply the force that will help you prove it. The power of perspective and mindset is one of the most transformative forces in our lives. How we view the world and the situations we face has an immeasurable impact on the quality of our lives and our ability to succeed. It's not necessarily the circumstances we find ourselves in that define us, but rather how we choose to see them. This subtle but profound shift in perspective can turn a hardship into an opportunity, a setback into a stepping stone, and a struggle into a lesson. Too often, we are quick to judge the events in our lives as negative, as obstacles that stand in our way. But what if I told you that your ability to rise above those challenges begins with your mindset? That no matter what happens around you, how you choose to interpret and respond to those events determines your outcomes. You see, life is not just about the situations we encounter, it's about the meaning we attach to those situations. Two people can face the same challenge and yet experience completely different results based on their perspectives. The truth is, your mindset shapes the world you live in. If you go into each day expecting failure, hardship, and defeat, you are likely to encounter those very things. But if you shift your mindset to one of possibility, optimism, and resilience, you begin to see opportunities where others see only roadblocks. Your thoughts are the lenses through which you view the world. And if you can change those lenses, you can change the way you experience life itself. The first step is to recognize that you hold the power to shift your perspective. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. On the contrary, it means acknowledging the difficulties, but choosing not to be defeated by them. Life will throw curveballs, it will test your limits, but it's how you respond to those challenges that matters. When you choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth, you unlock the potential to overcome any obstacle. A mindset of perseverance, determination, and faith in your own abilities becomes your shield against life's storms. Another powerful shift in perspective comes when we stop comparing ourselves to others. Far too often, we measure our worth against the success of those around us. Social media, society, and even our inner voices push us to keep up with others, to live up to some arbitrary standard of success. But true success isn't measured by what others achieve, it's measured by how well you grow in your own journey. The moment you let go of comparison and instead focus on your personal progress, your mindset changes. You stop viewing others as competition and start seeing them as inspiration. You realize that everyone is on their own path and your only focus should be on becoming the best version of yourself, not a replica of someone else. Your mindset is not just about positivity, it's about adaptability and resilience. It's about having the courage to face adversity with strength and knowing that every setback is temporary. When things go wrong, instead of crumbling, your mindset can empower you to look for lessons, to adapt, and to find creative solutions. Life is dynamic, it's ever-changing. A flexible mindset allows you to pivot when things don't go according to plan, to roll with the punches, and to find ways to make your goals work even in the face of unexpected hurdles. The power of perspective is not just an internal shift, it's a catalyst for action. When you change the way you see things, you change the way you act. Your perspective on failure can either paralyze you with fear or push you to take bold, inspired action. The belief that you can learn from every mistake, grow from every misstep, and improve with every failure gives you the courage to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. Your mindset also has the power to shape your relationships. When you approach interactions with others from a place of empathy, understanding, and openness, you begin to foster deeper, more meaningful connections. Instead of seeing people through the lens of judgment or defensiveness, you begin to view them through a lens of compassion and mutual respect. You start seeing others as they truly are, complex, imperfect, and beautiful in their own ways. This shift in perspective not only changes how you interact with others, but it also helps you to build a community that supports and uplifts you. The power of perspective and mindset is ultimately about freedom, the freedom to choose how you show up in the world every single day. You have the ability to choose how you respond to whatever life throws at you. You are not bound by your circumstances, but rather empowered by your perspective. When you change your mind, you change your life, and the most powerful thing about this shift is that it's entirely within your control. You hold the key to your future, and it all begins with how you see the world around you. The power of perspective lies in your ability to realize that every thought, every feeling, and every decision you make is shaping your reality. If you are not happy with your life, start with your mindset. If you want to be more successful, start by thinking differently about success. If you want to live a life full of joy and fulfillment, choose to see the world in a way that reflects those desires. With the right perspective, no dream is too big, no obstacle too daunting, and no journey too long. Your mindset shapes the story of your life, and when you take control of that, you become the author of your own destiny. The power of perspective and mindset is the most influential tool you possess. It is the lens through which you see the world and the catalyst for the actions you take. By choosing to view challenges as opportunities, by shifting from comparison to self-focus, and by adopting a mindset of resilience and adaptability, you unlock the doors to growth and success. Your mindset shapes your reality, and every shift in thought can lead to monumental changes in your life. Remember, you are not a passive observer in your life, you are the creator of your own experience. When you change the way you think, you change the way you live. So embrace the power of perspective, take control of your mindset, and watch as your life transforms into something greater than you ever imagined. The world is full of possibilities, and with the right perspective, you can achieve anything. The choice is yours. Your mindset is your greatest asset. Use it wisely, and you will see the incredible impact it has on your journey.